big week in politics, both leaving and coming up. Let's get to that with our roundtable. Starting out from the Congress, Republican Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania, Democrat Joaquin Castro from Texas, Amity Shlaes, director of the Economic Initiative, the George W. Bush Institute, and author of Coolidge, and financier Steve Rattner, former counselor to the Obama Treasury Department, and ABC's chief business and economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. Welcome to all of you. A lot to talk about. I want to begin with immigration because it seems like we had kind of a tale of two worlds in Washington this week. Your colleagues, many of your colleagues, Congressman Kelly, seem to think that that's the 70 votes doesn't make a difference one way or the other. The House is going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah, and I think if you look through history, we don't do big things very well in Washington, so I think it's better to break it apart, do smaller pieces, have a heavy debate about it. And I'm not talking about a conversation. I'm talking about a heavy debate. This is a serious, serious issue. We talk about a sovereign nation and its ability to protect its borders. That's number one. If we didn't learn anything from 1986 up until now, it's that we've got to look at this carefully and go through it. I don't understand the rush. We saw what happened in Patient Protection, Affordable Care Act. Anytime you rush anything through that big, this was up to 1,100 pages. I doubt that anybody's really read it and been able to really get through every piece of it. But border security is still a huge issue in Northwest Pennsylvania.
And one of the things we saw, Congressman Kelly, this week, you talk about breaking it up, is that there was a big debate on the Farm Bill this week in Congress. And you had a coalition of some conservative Republicans and liberal Democrats bringing the bill down. A lot of people looked at that and said it means that Speaker Boehner's going to have a hard time getting anything through the Congress on immigration. And he said this week that he's not going to do it. And you believe him, you take him at his word, that he's not going to do it unless a majority of Republicans support the legislation.
Yeah, and I do. But I got to tell you, from my experience, I've only been there one term and part of a second term now. I've never met anybody that's more open to the debate on the floor than Speaker Boehner. He has really been a champion of having an open floor, let everybody talk. The Ag Bill is a good example. This is something we should have been able to get done. And in the past, we're always able to get done. Now, we went through a very lengthy process, heavy debate process, heavy amendment process. I was disappointed that it didn't go through. It wasn't strong enough to the right for some of my colleagues and wasn't strong enough for the left for some other folks. And I don't understand that because at the end of the day, the idea was to put something forward that gave certainty for the next 5 years as to where we were going. It's the uncertainty that's driving all the problems in the country right now.
And before you came to Congress, Congressman, you were a car dealer. What do you feel? What are you feeling out there right now?
Well, I'll tell you what. I feel frustration. We're talking about the economy. You look at the economy. Look at the potential that's there. Look at the squandered opportunities that we've had so far. Now, we keep going back to, well, Congress didn't do this or Congress didn't do that. If we had a really aggressive energy strategy, if we had a way to go ahead and lift people out of where they are right now, when you see the middle-income people have lost $5,000 a year in income, you say, why is that? In a country that has been so blessed for so long, the only thing missing right now is strong leadership in a strategy that improves the economy. I don't want to talk about...
So what would an aggressive energy strategy be? Because the president's about to make a major announcement this week on climate change and energy. So I want to know first your view on what that would be.
Well, first of all, I don't know that the president needs to make a statement on green energy. I'll tell you what, with all the other things, the list of priorities of what's going on in the world, if this is really his initiative, I think there's a lot more things on this plate right now. To me, it's a pivot away from what's causing the distrust of this government. And I don't care any relationship that you have, whether it's you and I, you and your wife, any of us in the business relationship, when we lose trust in that person, then we don't have any faith in the future. And that's where we are right now. So I think the president would be better to talk about lifting the lower-income people and the middle-income people and let them get to where they should be.
Congressman Kelly, I think Speaker Boehner said this week that implementing these new rules that the president did, it would be absolutely crazy. But is there anything you all in the Congress can do to stop him if that's what you choose to do?
I don't think, I don't know what we can do to stop it. I would say this. You know, the president talks about all the above, but then he leaves out everything that's below. We have tremendous and abundant, accessible, and affordable way of producing energy in this country. We do not have to rely on anybody from outside our borders to supply us with a barrel of oil. We can do everything that we need to do right here. The other things we have, George, we have tillable soil and potable water. Not the rest of the world has all the things that we have. So when you don't have to rely on other people for these things to get by, when you can lower your cost of energy, you can then compete in a global economy that allows us not just to be part of it, but to dominate it. I just don't understand why. The president's role should be as a uniter and as a guy who leads us forward. We can't constantly have this divisiveness. We also have a great opportunity with nuclear. So my question is, so why are we concentrating on some of these other things and not using what's abundant, what's accessible, and what's affordable right now?
I'm not sure what it is that you're referring to that's abundant and accessible. Are you talking about coal, or what are you talking about?
I'm talking about every one of the fossil fuels. I tell you, in Pennsylvania, 40%. No, we're not. Steve, we're not. We're shutting down coal plants.
We have a
We're
record-
shutting down power,
Okay.
electric-powered, coal-powered electric plants.
We are trying to reduce our reliance on coal because of the adverse economic effect. We
I
now
understand.
have an enormous surplus of natural gas, which will take its place on a very cost-effective, environmentally more sound basis. We have had an enormous increase in our oil production in this country, the fastest increase I think we've had in history, and a reduction in our oil imports. So I'm not sure what it is that you want the president to do that we're not doing.
Let's be really honest about this. All of the growth has taken place in the private sector, not the public sector. The president was dropped in
you
his
like the
lap
private
an
sector.
opportunity. Yes, of course I do.
So?
But I also know there's a great potential in the public sector. There is an answer to every one of our problems. That is the dynamic and robust economy. And any other talk is just idle chatter.
I wish we had a lot more time for real talk, not idle chatter, but we're out of time right now. Thank you all very much for